we learned today is that the Russian interference that went on in the 2016 election is actually part of a larger global strategy on the part of Russian President Vladimir Putin to undermine democratic institutions around the world. Now, this is laid out in a 200-page report released by Senator Ben Cardin, who is a Democrat in Maryland today. And this report goes into detail about how Russia has been able to use disinformation, cyber hacking, and other means of influence around the world to try to destabilize other governments, particularly in Europe, and not just the United States like they did in the 2016 election. The Republican chairman of the committee, Senator Bob Corker, did not sign on to this report, but the report is actually built off of ideas that have garnered a lot of GOP support on the Hill. This includes tough Russia sanctions and trying to implement those sanctions to squeeze the Russian government to stop them from trying to do these destabilizing activities across the world. While it was not signed on to by the Republican chairman, there are ideas in here that do have some bipartisan support. The main finding out of this report is more that the United States needs to look at some of the lessons learned that happened in European elections, particularly in France and Germany recently, and try to take some of those ideas to help safeguard our elections in 2018. This report kind of serves as a warning, saying that what we saw in 2016 is not an isolated incident. It's part of a years-long global strategy, and that we need to be looking forward and saying what we need to be doing differently in 2018 to safeguard our election against outside influence and foreign meddling.
Never before has a U.S. president so clearly ignored such a grave threat and a growing threat to U.S. national security.
We do expect there to be much more detailed findings that dig into what happened here in the 2016 election and whether or not there was any collusion or coordination between Russian actors and the Trump campaign.